It may not be a fight to get particularly excited about, but Hughie Fury is going to be fighting Kubrat Pulev in the latter's home country of Bulgaria, in the capital Sofia. It's not going to be for any belts, I don't believe, and it's pitting a younger, much fresher man in Hughie Fury against an old campaigner, once title challenger. Was he ever a champion? If he was a paper champion, Pulev, who's always had a decent jab, but a good physical strength, but has always been a little bit stiff for my liking, which got found out very brutally against Vladimir Klitschko back in 2014. Since then, he had a decent win against Chisora, who we thought who was done at that point, and then he beat a very old Samuel Peter and Kevin Johnson, and I don't think he's fought since then, and he hasn't fought for over a year. So that's a long-ass time to be out of the ring. He was, of course, scheduled to fight Anthony Joshua at one point, which went apart, supposedly because of an injury. But Eddie Hearn reckoned actually it may have been something to do with him not really wanting it, which is a bit bizarre because he was set to make millions. But that fight didn't go ahead, of course, and Takam stepped in. But now we've got Pulev fighting the much younger man who's on the upward spiral and is looking to try and find his way in this heavyweight division. Very difficult being the younger cousin of the very loud and famous Tyson Fury, who very well may be about to fight Deontay Wilder, but he's very young at 23. And you'd hope the fight against Parker, as ugly as it was, he did well for what he did. He didn't do enough, of course, and that went against him. But you'd imagine he will have collected some experience from that fight. And he looked pretty good in his last fight. Admittedly, it was against Sam Sexton. We're talking British level here. He uncorked a nice counter right hand to do him. So I don't know how much can be read into that. But he's very well poised here at his age. Pulev has been very inactive. He's 37. As I say, he has a good jab and he's physically strong. An okay right hand. But when I look at him, you see a guy who's got some serious gaps. And I think they've got a similar reach. But as the great Angie Dundee once said, range often is dictated more by where your feet are and not so much the length of your arms. And Hughie Fury has got some very young feet on him. If there's one thing he can do well, it's move around the ring well. He moves well laterally. He's very supple and a natural mover there, a natural boxer. And you'd think at this stage he would be able to outpoint Pulev over the 12 rounds. He doesn't have much of a punch, we know this, so I don't know how much you'll be able to encourage him, but Pulev isn't the kind of guy to try and crowd you and force his weight and strength on you. He likes to keep it fairly long himself and use his jab, so I can imagine that causing Hughie some problems just due to the experience of the left hand and the timing of it. But if he can get over that, of the Bulgarian, to be able to move, he should be able to frustrate him, set a higher pace, make those 37 years really feel the weight. Of them, make his joints creak, and he's been inactive as well. So I'm expecting Hughie Fury to win this one. Over here in the UK, it's on Channel 5, which is always cool. It's good when it's on something you don't have to pay for. But I wonder where Fury goes from there, Hughie, that is. He's fairly high in the IBF ranking, so that could possibly position him to a Joshua fight, but could it really? Because Joshua's fighting Povetkin, then he might have a rematch with Dylan White, we don't know, and if not, it could be the winner of Fury and Wilder. Of course, that's big bucks. It's hard to see Hughie, who's not a particularly exciting fighter as well, it must be said, getting a shot with Anthony Joshua anytime soon. And then he's relatively low, he's in the top 10-ish of the WBC rankings at the moment, these rankings that make no effing sense at all. There should just be one ranking, there should be one belt, but that's just that's a debate for another video. So I'm expecting Hughie Fury to be able to use his youth, his lateral movement and his legs to get the better of the older Bulgarian, whose career I'm not sure is really where it's going after he pulled out of a fight with Joshua. If you really wanted to get any juice left out of your career, you would have gone for that last shot, but he didn't. So Hughie Fury to win on points, and then we'll see where it's going for the still very young and talented Mancunian.